New today, students struggling to build strong credit. From a first car to a first apartment, today's market is making it harder to start off on your own. A few simple steps to navigate the financial world next. Good afternoon, I'm John Schreiner.
And I'm Megan Bird. Later in the show, a UNO athletics decision that rocked the Metro. Plans to move the school's sports to Division I have some athletes crying foul. This is the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
From laptops to Lamborghinis, chances are there's a payment plan for that. We're talking credit and the market that moves around it. And as Brandon Bartling shares, a world that banks on credit has its own challenges.
Prices soaring at the gas pump. Restaurants and grocery stores increasing prices. Some businesses even closing down for good. Financial stability is more difficult to obtain than ever. No doubt you've seen the ads on TV offering free credit reports or incentives to get a new credit card.
What's in your wallet?
The term credit gets thrown around loosely, so what exactly is credit?
Credit's the management of debt over time, and good credit is the careful management of debt over a longer period of time.
Failing to manage this debt well can lead to difficulty in obtaining loans from banks.
Banks are very tight right now with lending money, and they're very selective about who they work with.
Leasing an apartment without a cosigner.
But at 21, you're probably going to have a cosigner on an apartment regardless.
Or even getting a car.
The banks are looking for some depth of credit, the ability to repay a loan. Sometimes it is tough for students to get automotive loans.
As students move through college, their debt can skyrocket and credit score plummet.
Again, these are the most unstable years in anybody's life.
The expected cost of attendance at the University of Nebraska at Omaha is about $19,000 for next school year. $28,000 if you're not a resident of Nebraska. So those student loans can add up fast and wreak havoc on your credit. Stephen Reedy is a UNO student that has had a credit card for about 9 months.
But I like to think that it's helping my credit history by making the payments on time and not carrying a balance from month to month on my card.
When trying to find an apartment, Steve ran into some difficulty because of his credit.
They checked my credit, and I actually was required to have a cosigner because I didn't have a credit history.
You may know that you're responsible, you know you're going to make it, but they don't know you.
Students throw out money for apartments, but they also throw out more for transportation.
Well, we've got everything from first-time buyers, people with little or no credit, to people that have excellent credit.
Your credit score has a substantial impact on your ability to get financing, but help is available.
Most of our loans are anywhere from 48 months to 72 months. There are lenders out there that will go beyond that point.
The Credit Advisors Foundation gave some great tips on how to build or maintain a good credit score. Pay your bills on time. Late payments stay on your credit history for 7 years. Limit your accounts and maintain them for a long period of time. Opening new lines of credit, especially all at once, show major signs of instability and are a red flag for credit agencies. Don't max out your credit lines. In other words, don't put anything more on your credit card than you know you can afford to pay for.
It's best not to have credit lines that exceed 1 month's income when you're starting out.
For the Omaha News, I'm Brandon Bartling.
With federal credit card laws at the forefront of new bank policies, there are a lot of questions out there. For more information on the Credit Advisors Foundation and on how to fix or build your credit, go to creditadvisors.org.
A sigh of relief from stakeholders around the world. Just call it watching out for an investment. Warren Buffett has canceled a trip to Japan planned for next week. The Oracle of Omaha was scheduled to visit a metal company's opening ceremony following the nation's devastating earthquake and tsunami. Yesterday, the world's third richest person announced he would not be visiting the ravaged Fukushima prefecture. Buffett is still scheduled to visit South Korea this Monday.
Across Omaha, eye doctors dedicated a day to free eye health screenings. The event was all part of Glaucoma Awareness Week. Now, the week has come and gone, but the illness hasn't. Anthony Davis focuses on the Heartland's eye health.
1 in 200 people under 50 have it. It's glaucoma, a disorder that's become the second leading cause of blindness worldwide.
That it is a disease that can be seen in all age groups, right from a newborn to an elderly patient.
Early recognition of the disorder is key because any damage which takes the form of blurriness around the peripheral vision of an eye is permanent.
That getting an eye exam so that the disease can be prevented is much better than trying to stop someone from losing their eyesight.
The Glaucoma Research Foundation says in America alone, 4 million people have the disorder, but many may not know it. If the disorder affects one eye, the other is able to compensate for that visual loss. Machines like this are what eye doctors use to check your peripheral vision, the loss of which is one of the indicators for the disability of glaucoma. Glaucoma may have a permanent effect, but it's very treatable.
They can actually use a laser to make holes in this structure here. It's called the trabecular meshwork. It makes the filter more open, makes it easier for fluid to drain out. Treatments are available and necessary. So every time you go into the eye doctor, we're checking your eye pressure. For the Omaha News, I'm Anthony Davis.
Medical officials say glaucoma risk does increase with age. If you can't remember the last time you had an eye exam, it may be time to schedule an appointment. Early testing and treatment is still the best hope for glaucoma victims.
Well, early testing isn't the only way to practice good eye health. A new Harvard study shows women who regularly eat fish suffer less chronic eye disease. The authors found women who ate the most fish had a 38% lower risk of developing eye disease than the average woman. Women who ate fish once or more a week were 42% less likely to develop the condition. The Women's Health Study took 10 years to complete and tracked more than 38,000 women. One of the healthiest fishes, according to the study, canned tuna.
Coming up, a story of child education as fun and easy as, well, the ABCs. We've got some simple tips for setting your young child up for school success. From Paddington Bear to Cat in the Hat, see how story time shapes young minds after the break.
And a new way to build students' knowledge? Kids across the city are constructing competitive robots. Find out why more Omaha students want to learn more about programming and engineering. This is the Omaha News.
Something wasn't right.
Were they lying to the public?
There was a bigger story here than just a plane crash.
It's become the symbol of everything that's wrong with the industry.
My kid got 6 vaccines in one day and he regressed.
Not only are those children who aren't vaccinated at risk, but those who can't be vaccinated are at risk.
Nobody really knew what was going on. What was it in this market that had to be hidden?
I spent millions of dollars in cash bribing government officials.
People in power do not like the investigation to come too close to them. You never hear these stories.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on NET1.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Many people think a child's education starts when school does, but the latest research says strong academic skills start forming at a far earlier age. Ian Edgington gets a read on the importance of early literacy.
Libraries like the W. Clark Swanson Library offer more than just a quiet place to study. For parents and their young children, it's a place to learn about the importance of reading.
By starting young, you're developing those skills, you're practicing those skills, so that when you become older, it's just old habit.
Reading to your toddler does more than just introduce them to Ernie, Pooh, and Cat in the Hat. It introduces them to letters and words, establishing an early understanding of language.
If you're not able to read, you're not able to do anything else. You're not able to read a recipe card, you're not able to read a math problem. So literacy really is the basic building block of everything else.
And that's the draw to Storytime. It's a chance for parents to help teach their kids how to communicate effectively.
Books can open up a whole new world.
Meg Begadou takes her daughter to Storytime so that she'll be more comfortable reading before starting school.
Because I want her to learn the importance of books and reading and stuff. I don't think kids today read that much, so I want to introduce her to books at an early age.
When you start reading to your child, keep these tips in mind. Don't force the child's attention. Take breaks when needed. Let the child move around. Repeat books. Often repetition encourages learning. For more information on story times, visit any Omaha Public Library. For the Omaha News, I'm Ian Edgington.
The Omaha Public Library system offers reading events for a variety of ages. Whether you have an infant, a toddler, or a preschooler, chances are there's a story time for you. Have an older kid at home? There's also mother-daughter reading days and teen book clubs.
And now an update in the Underwood Hills story that we've been following, as OPS officials stare down a mountain of their very own math homework. This week, the OPS school board considered if an anonymous donor's $800,000 offer could keep the Focus School alive in the long term. Superintendent John Mackiel says it all adds up and he's thinking positive. But skeptics say the school's $1.4 million annual cost is going to subtract from the school's funding faster than it can keep up. For now, the Focus School program will remain open, moving to a different school building within the OPS district this fall.
A national push for better math and science education is taking a fun form here in the Heartland. Ask one of these kids about calculators, and they may tell you it does not compute. But when it comes to robot wars, you can bet you'll hear a loud affirmative.
Robotics isn't just fun and games to some. Building for competitive matches help engineering students achieve skills for the future.
They understand what the engineering process is when they're done, and we believe that many of the graduates of our program have a higher success rate.
Students are dedicated at a young age to achieve their goals.
Well, I want to continue this from high school all the way to college, so it goes on your college resume.
Programming robots now will probably give me some experience later on, so it'll help me programming for my job.
Some are breaking stereotypes.
Broken the standard for girl engineers. Pretty nice. A lot of people give us recognition for that.
Yeah, a girl team.
Create now has 160 teams in Nebraska.
That 5 years ago there were no robotics teams in the state. We're second in the nation right now in terms of robotics teams that work on this class of robots.
Students are encouraged to create their designs and build their robots on their own.
They give you some suggestions, and then beyond that, you just basically have to come up with your own design. As my teacher would say, there's no right answer.
In addition to the on-field competition, students must be able to present their robots.
Have to present what they have built to a team of judges, and then that gives them presentation skills.
Future engineers are also taught the importance of professionalism.
You know, they're really big on the sportsmanship, like you shake each other's hands after the competition, and I just feel like it's a really nice group of people.
These engineering competitions aren't just for kids. Adults can also form robotics teams or coach the younger leagues.
With us right now is reporter Brandy Rollins, here to tell us a little bit more about the robotics competition and science education. Brandy, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
So what are some of the skills that the kids are learning participating in events like these?
Well, they're not only learning engineering skills, they are learning to be PR managers, they're learning to work together, They are also working on sportsmanship and to be humble winners if they do win, or if they lose, congratulate each other.
So they work in teams?
Yes, they do. Each person has their role in each team.
How much help do they get from adults in these competitions?
Well, the adults spend a lot of time volunteering. There's only one employee of Create, and all the rest of it is all volunteer work.
How long has it been going on here in Omaha?
It's been going on for about the past 6 years. There was nothing at all before then.
And did you have fun reporting on this subject?
Oh, of course. It was really fun watching the kids get involved and working with robots.
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. For more information, you can visit createfound.org. The site offers free webcasts for their robotics competitions, a list of science scholarships, and links to find robot teams across the states.
Up next, an inside look at Omaha's biggest sports story of the year. UNO's athletic program is planning a move to Division I, but some student athletes are saying it's a bad call. Josh Korth will have the latest.
That's right, John. Coming up next, from Facebook to Flyers, students on campus are rallying to save the wrestling and football programs, but the athletic department says that would cost millions of dollars. I'll have the latest figures and after the break. This is the Omaha News.
Something new or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside, there's something wrong here. This isn't normal. Will it seem almost impossible or push the limit?
Large tornado! It's humongous! We need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1. Breathtaking. Electrifying. Inspiring. Award-winning documentaries produced by UNO Television offer you a window on the history of Omaha and the world. Beginning with the acclaimed 2-hour documentary on the history of Omaha, If These Walls Could Speak, UNO Television has developed a reputation for producing high-quality programs that explore, educate, and enlighten. These outstanding productions can be part of your home video collection. For information about purchasing VHS or DVD copies, call 554-2516 or visit our website at unotv.unomaha.edu.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Some say it's just an economic reality. Others are calling it betrayal. Earlier this week, UNO Athletics announced its plan to move its sports to Division I, but at the cost of 2 high-profile programs. Hi, I'm Megan Bird.
And I'm John Schreiner. Reporter Josh Korth is live, and he has the latest numbers and campus reactions for us. Josh, what's going on?
Thanks, John. I'm here at Al Cornelia Field for what is now still the home of UNO football. But if the Board of Regents approve the move to Division I sports, this field may be empty come spring training time. The athletic department's plans have some students saying it's a bad call. Wrestling and football athletes are fighting through Facebook and community rallies, and some students are even handing out flyers on campus. But with all this strong reaction, it's important to remember how and why this all started.
Change, it's something we see happening often around campus. But a major change is on the horizon for sports at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, as the athletic department will be cutting wrestling and football as it moves on to Division I sports.
I was pretty shocked. I really didn't see that coming. It's pretty tough.
Football at UNO, which played its first game in 1911, is by far the most expensive sport at the university.
Football, I guess what I read was it was losing money, so it was too expensive to keep going.
The current budget exceeds revenue it generates by $1.3 million.
Although many people here on campus are upset, the athletic department does say that there is a silver lining to all of this.
This move allows other sports programs to become marquee revenue generators for the university.
My initial thought of going to D1 was that it'll be really good for our basketball program and baseball, but then I heard about the football and wrestling being cut, and that really sucks.
The UNO wrestling team won its third straight NCAA Division II championship this past Saturday, but had short time to celebrate.
They just called us and said we need to come down to the lobby and talk about it, and they just broke the news to us, and it's just a bad situation all around.
Sports aren't the only thing students are worried about with this move.
One thought I was hoping that we didn't see a spike in tuition prices because of this.
And that's a question we won't have the answer to until everything is set in stone.
Decision is finalized with a vote from the Board of Regents. There are only 2 members of the athletic department administration that can comment on these changes. I tried to contact them both earlier this week, but both were unavailable for on-camera interviews. Athletic Director Trev Alberts did say it's important to remember that despite hard feelings, that athletics is supposed to be a money generator and something that football wasn't accomplishing. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Josh. Well, the newly revealed Division I plans have the school's wrestling and football players scrambling to stay in the sport. Student athletes tell us that many of the football players are in contact with other schools, trying to make sure they get the field time they signed on for. Athletics Director Trev Alberts has even announced that the school is going to hold special events to try and get these players on other teams. But some student athletes, like football's Brian Miller, are taking UNO up on its offer to honor the sports scholarship through graduation.
I guess I'm just about to stay here and finish out my degree here on the scholarship, because we get to keep them until the time we graduate, which is nice. So I'm just going to stay and get my degree, go to school for free. I thought about it a little bit, and this is the best decision for me.
While everything's up in the air, there's no idea whether Miller is going to be alone in taking the scholarship offer or if he'll be in the majority. One thing's for certain, it's a bittersweet trade-off.
Coming up next, an Omaha event with a little style is coming to a runway near you. From international to local designers, we'll share a quick glance of the stunning looks strutting the catwalk, a preview of Omaha's ever-dazzling fashion runway. Front runway show after the break. Stay with us.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is where you'll find unlimited possibilities in academic, campus, and community life. Step up to the Metropolitan Advantage at bmf.com.
Face of America is about the diversity of our country. We're the only nation in the world consisting entirely of immigrants. Even the Native Americans were immigrants 16,000 years ago. I wanted to show that not only were we a country of migrants, but we could measure that degree of migrancy through people's DNA. We have 12 people representing the diversity that is at the heart of the greatness of the American people.
I find it fascinating to know where people are from, why they speak their language, what was their history. And I think it's important to know where you've been to know where you're going.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the greatest documents I've ever seen.
He's one of the founding fathers.
Oh my God!
My dad hadn't talked much about my maternal grandfather, so it was really interesting to see the path that his dad took to come to America and really forge a life for all of us.
Now this is what an officer said about your grandfather. He is unquestionably the company's best soldier. In the New York Times.
Yeah. I knew he was a special man.
Faces of America is my 10th documentary. I'm living a dream, and that dream was born in my living room in West Virginia watching PBS.
Watch online anytime at pbs.org.
I'm Ray Suarez for in-depth coverage of the global events that affect your life, as well as complete coverage of top domestic news. Tune into the new PBS NewsHour.
Weeknights at 9 Central Time on NET2.
Well, if you're looking for some indoor weekend plans to dodge the rain in the forecast, and you like a little flair, Omaha's Spring Runway Fashion Show may have something for you.
Probably. Because
Omaha Fashion Week gears up, and so do the designers.
I've done Omaha Fashion Week. This is my second show. I did the fall show in 2010. It was really exciting. It's the biggest show I've ever done. So I'm really excited to do the spring show because I get to show another collection in Omaha.
The first show was in 2008, and since then, there has been a show every spring and fall.
The thing I'm most excited about for the spring preview is the armor pieces I'm making. I really like tough fashion, and I really like the look of armor. So I was excited to try my hand at leather, and I've been burning it, distressing it, and it has all these metal pieces all over it. It's very cool looking.
To date, there have been more than 40 local designers that have gotten the chance to show their work. Omaha Fashion Week's success has also caught the eyes of professionals in New York City, LA, and even overseas. OFW has taken its production and debuted Omaha Fashion Magazine.
Omaha's fashion scene, it's really exciting. It's growing really fast. I mean, I've only done the show twice, but I know that the number of designers alone that have applied to be in the shows has grown it's incredible. I think there was 50 that applied this spring.
Previous fashion shows have hosted more than 5,000 people in a single show.
So it's really exciting. It's growing. It's way more diverse, and it's a really exciting scene to be a part of.
Haven't bought tickets yet? Not a problem. They're still available for this Saturday 7 p.m. runway show at omahafashionweek.com. Tickets start at $25.
Thanks again for choosing the Omaha News. We'll be back here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Until then, we want to know what you think. Visit our website at omahanews.com or find us on Facebook. You can get an inside look at how our reporters found their stories.
And find more stories that our reporters covered. Have news tips, story ideas, or just want to let us know what you think? Email us at youromahanews@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
From all of us here at UNO Television, have a good night.
Hi, I'm Meshach Taylor, actor and public television supporter, encouraging you to become a fan of UNO Television. Located on the University of Nebraska at Omaha campus, UNO Television is a unit of the College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media. Student crew members are trained and placed in broadcasting positions that give them real-world experience. Many students move seamlessly into jobs within the local television market. UNO Television, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
This is what we cover
on Need to Know.
This isn't just a Mexican problem. This is a joint problem.
The idea that the future could be better than the present.
I'm humming my own discontent.
I've been mocked because I'm a, quote, creationist.
This is not a boom or bust industry. This is a renewable resource.
Your job as an investigative reporter is to get information to people who need it.
This is an extraordinary event that calls for extraordinary measures.
Friday night at 8:30 Central Time on NET1.
Big week this week. The president has really come around.
I've got 2 sound bites.
Okay, so Alexis will talk about what?
I think Tim Kaine was talking about.
But the point is that they've been pulling their punches. I mean,
the whole politics of what's going on in Washington right now.
But what are the words we want? Let's just start with what we saw was playing out in front of
Illustrated.
Our eyes was the exact opposite.
Oh yeah, I got to get that done.
Right.
Washington.
What time's Dad is coming?
Friday night at 8 Central Time on NET1. NPR News during the day and cool jazz at night on NET Radio's new channel, HD2. You can listen online anytime, anywhere, on our website, netnebraska.org/radio. In the Lincoln area, you can also listen over the air using an HD radio. Find out more about this new jazz and news service from NET Radio on the web netnebraska.org/radio.